A local man is getting ready to head off to Indianapolis to take part in a historic race.
ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live with him this morning in Merle's Inlet with more. Good morning.
Yeah, this is so cool. So tell me how excited you are to hop on your bike and take it to Indy.
Well, Indianapolis has got to be one of the bucket list things for anybody that races, and this will be the first time for privately owned motorcycles since 1909, which most people don't know, but the first race at Indianapolis was a motorcycle race. And of course, they've got the big oval, which everybody, excuse me, watched just the other day. But a lot of people don't know that they have a 2.3-mile road course, which incorporates part of the speedway, and then they go down on the infield, and we have 14 turns. We come back out on the front straightaway, and then down the front straightaway, and same thing all over again.
Wow, so you're ready.
I'm ready, yeah. We've been looking forward to this for quite some time. I've got friends coming from all over the East. There'll be cars there because we run with the SVRA, which is the Sports Car Vintage Racing Association, and they get 2,500 applications to get invited to this race, and they only take 500. Okay. Now there's going to be 30 to 40 past champions on the motorcycles, and we're hoping for a good turnout and that we can put a show on for them.
Oh yeah, well, so show me your bike right here.
Well, this is a replication actually of the bike I won the U.S. National Championship on. It's 81 bodywork, 82 frame, 83 motor, approximately 140 horsepower. It's like a NASCAR engine in your motorcycle. And the last 6 or 7 years, I've been running this bike with Historic MotoGP Association, which is a bunch of older fellows that won national championships, and we go and we run all over the United States at various road race courses.
Right. Wow. That's a monster engine right there. Guys, I can hop on. I'll beat a Conway in 3 minutes.
Just be careful.
That got me laughing. Thank you, Amanda. That was funny.
And the event that he's heading to, the Brickyard Vintage Racing Invitational, is happening on June 15th.
A former champion motorcycle racer living in Merle's Inlet is getting ready for Indianapolis and a historic vintage race.
And this morning, ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live with him in Merle's Inlet, checking out this bike he's going to take with him. It's pretty cool. He's got a great backstory. Good morning, Amanda.
All right, you were telling me that this engine right here is as big as like just a race car engine on the bike.
Yeah, it's a performance engine. It has an APE head. It has Weisco pistons, Molly rods, Falcone crank. This would mean something to people.
I was going to say, I don't know what any of that means except for it'll go pretty fast.
Yeah, it will go pretty fast.
So
yes.
can I hop on?
Sure. Put your foot on the peg there.
This right here?
Yeah, go right there. Grab the handlebars.
All right.
There you go. Hey, it fits you perfect.
Yeah.
Fits you perfect.
Okay, now where's the on button?
On button.
You don't want to wake up the neighbors, so you don't want to turn this on.
It would definitely wake up the neighbors, yes.
Well, it's almost 6 o'clock.
It's time for them to get up anyways, right?
Exactly. Maybe here in a little bit we'll give them a little, instead of, it'll be the new age thing. Instead of, roosters, you can just do a bike, a motorcycle. No, you don't think that?
Well, when I do start it up around here, I usually get phone calls.
Really?
Yeah.
So, to this point, you have been doing this for a long time.
I started in 1967 in professional dirt tracking, okay? Moved to upstate New York shortly after that. In 1969, I was New York State flat track champion. In 1970, I had a very bad accident in Reading, Pennsylvania, at a flat track there. Spent a lot of time in the hospital, and I thought my career was pretty much ended. Okay, then in '80, a friend of mine who road raced got me into road racing. We did sprint races for a couple years, and then in '82, we formed an endurance team and went after the national championship, which I can say that we won. Right, and that's either 4 hours or 24 hours. Yeah, 4-hour events, we'd have 2 riders. 24-hour events, we'd have 4 riders. 24 hours on a motorcycle at an hour a clip is, I can't even describe it. You know, it's very tiring. Your arms start to pump up.
I would
When
think.
your time comes to get off the bike, you're ready.
I would think so. I mean, just to go a little bit, you know, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
24 hours. I don't know if I can go 24 hours, but I think I can have some fun. Keith, do you know how to turn this on?
Looking good on the bike there, Amanda. Of
course.
The Brickyard Vintage Racing Invitational is happening June the 15th.
A local man is now getting ready to head off to Indianapolis to take part in a historic race.
ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth is live with him this morning in Murrells Inlet with more. Good morning.
Yeah, this is so cool right here. Okay, so I found the on switch. It's just right here, but I'm only going to turn it a little bit. I won't turn it on. It's too loud. We'll wake up the neighbors. And you're telling me that this isn't even street legal because it goes so fast and it's loud.
Well, it doesn't have any lights or anything like that, and it's loud. It's made for track use only.
For the track.
It actually was a street bike to start with, but you strip all the stuff you don't need off of it. You build the motor. You put the racing tires and brakes and exhaust and all that on it, and you end up with this. But back then they didn't make for race type bikes only, or at least not many of them. So you had to modify a street bike to get what this turns out to be.
And you're hoping to go how fast? It's so cool. You get invited to Indy the first year that they're letting motorcycles actually come through for the vintage race. And what are you hoping for? And it's not just you go around, you go around. And
Yeah, they've incorporated an infield road course where you run part of the speedway, then you go onto the infield and you make 14 turns before you come back out onto the speedway straightaway. Having never run this front straightaway there, at Road Atlanta, I'm getting about 160 down the back straight there. About the best this bike probably would ever do might be 165, 167. But we're taking extra gearing if we need it. But for a 35-year-old bike, you know, that's pretty decent.
And describe the rush you get when you go that fast.
It's kind of hard to describe. It's definitely an adrenaline high. But I've been doing it for 50 years.
50 years. It must be some kind of high, you know, to do it that long.
And it's really cool. I just can't. It's hard to describe.
Yeah. Well, you know, it does say do not exceed 150 miles per hour.
Well,
We'll just pretend we won't.
yeah, we'll pretend we didn't see that.
Guys.
Yeah, that's more advice, I think, than mandatory. The Brickyard Vintage Racing Invitational event is happening June 15th.
A former champion motorcycle racer living in Murrells Inlet is getting ready for Indianapolis in a historic vintage race there.
ABC 15's Amanda Kenseth thinks she's going with him to the race, but we need you here, Amanda. It looks like fun.
Yeah, and this is it right here. The bike, the replica, the vintage bike that you won with back in the 80s. You get to take this to Indy. And I tell you what, after 50 years of doing this, you need a little special shout out to your wife, right?
Oh yeah, I've got to thank my wife for putting up with this for all these years. You know, it's not many people that'll let their 70-year-old husband go out and do stuff like this, but we're still hoping to keep it up for a few more years.
Well, this is the bike that, you know, you race on, but this is the one that you love.
Well, yeah, like I say, I told you I've had over 75 motorcycles, and I'm not exactly sure what number this is, but
75, 78, something like that.
yeah, this is a Yamaha FJR 1300 called a sport touring bike. It's got what they would call a sport bike engine with the ergonomics where you got the bags, the electronic windshield, and all that, so they can do some cruising on it.
Let's see how that works. So this goes up and down, right?
Yeah, you just turn the switch on here, and you know, if you get in rain or something like that, or you just want a little less wind noise, works pretty good like that. The bags have liners that go in them. You can put all your whatever you want to carry in a motel, just pop the bag open and grab your bag and away you go.
I would really have to learn how to repack my stuff and downsize if I were to go stay somewhere with just this little. I mean, you're talk about women, you know.
You can't be any worse than I am. I take everything I need and then some. I've actually got another bag that sits back here if I go on a long distance ride.
All right, well, can we fire this one up?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Sure.
hop on?
Go ahead. It's all yours.
No, well, you need to drive. I don't want to drive it. I don't want to break the bike. I just want to ride. So I just hop on right here behind you?
Yeah.
All right.
You on?
All right, let's Happy Conway. Go for it.
Uh-oh.
The kickstand's still down, but that's okay.
Okay. We're so jealous, though. How
I know,
fun does
she's
that
having
look?
a ball out there this morning. The Brickyard Vintage Racing Invitational is happening June the 15th.